Rabbi Leora Kay tells a story of a young girl who used to love visiting her grandmother who lived in the country. The girl loved going to the country. It was away from the hubbub of the city. The sounds were different. The smells were different. Time went more slowly. One of the girl and her grandmother's favorite traditions during their visit was to take a train ride. They would always sit in the exact same seat on the same side of the train. And the grandma would tell the girls stories about what they were passing, the houses and who lived in them, the things that had changed over time and those that were the same as when she was growing up. They saw farms and giant trees, and the grandmother had stories for every single one. The girl loved these stories so much, and even when she returned to the city, she would often close her eyes and imagine herself on the train next to her grandma, hearing her grandmother's voice share the stories in her head. One visit, however, and one train ride in particular, something happened. Just as they started their ride, another train came next to them on a parallel track, traveling at the same speed. So the girl and her grandmother's view of all the houses and the farms was blocked. The girl was devastated. She wanted to hear the stories, even though she knew them all by heart. And she looked at her grandma with pain and loss in her eyes. "How can you tell me the stories now? We can't see anything." The girl's grandmother took a breath, but with that wisdom that only grandmothers can have, she looked at her granddaughter without skipping a beat and answered, "Don't worry at all. There's another window on that side of the train, and I haven't even begun to tell you the stories of what happened over there." For so many of us, the High Holy Days are like that trip to the country. A day away from the hubbub of our daily lives, we slow down for a bit. The sounds are different. Time goes more slowly. And as we begin our trip this year, to say a train has pulled up next to us and is blocking our view from our normal seat would be quite the understatement. And yet, we too are on the same train. And on this train, there is another window on the other side. So as we test out our new seats this evening, I pray that these High Holy Days will inspire us to gain wisdom from our new perspective. This day is different, but this day has so much potential. Hayom te'amsenu. On this day, may we all find strength and comfort in a time of distress. Hayom tevarchenu. On this day, may we find blessings, for even in times of adversity, our blessings are plentiful. Hayom tegadlenu. On this day, when so many are feeling fear, may we find hope. May we be lifted up, and may we be a source of strength, blessing, and hope to the world around us. tfilatenu hayom timechenu bimin tzidkecha. Amen.
The High Holy Day period reminds me of family tradition, sitting together with my grandparents and parents, and later with my family in temple, and especially the wonderful holiday meals we shared at this time.
Are a time of self-assessment, asking for forgiveness, resolving to do better, and hope for the coming year.
To me, the holidays are all about family. And we have a big dining room table, and I love to have my 5 children, their spouses, and the 10 grandchildren. It's a bringing home of everybody. It's sort of like you blow the whistle and say, hey, it's time. It's the Jewish holidays. Come home. And they do come home.
The high holidays have always been a time of personal spiritual reflection, a time to look back on how I have lived my life during the past year. This serious contemplation, however, was always coupled with my love for liturgical music. Being part of Kalenu always meant many rehearsals, which culminated in the joy of being part of the congregation's Shared Zedek services.
The High Holy Days were a time to celebrate our family, celebrate our traditions, remember those who came before us and the challenges they faced to give us the opportunities that we have now. And it was also about community and serving our community. It was a time for reflection, a time for long walks, often with family members, but a time to reflect on who we were and who we wanted to be.
New beginnings, tradition, time with family,
and apples and honey.
The High Holy Days provide a tangible break for me from the world I live in, and the time and venue to focus on the fact that God has promised never to desert us. It also provides a tangible way of thanking God for the many blessings He has bestowed upon all of us, and to ask His forgiveness for our shortcomings and promise to try and do better next year.
And forgetting to write 5781 on my checks.
It's a special time, and it's meaningful. And because we've done it so many years, it's part of our tradition. Tradition?
Singing in your homes, but you've heard this song enough now that this is a good time for you to practice. So let's sing it one more time. Everyone, don't be embarrassed. Sing along with us. Here we go. I know.